We say at City Church that we exist to bring beauty to broken places, and one of the many reasons I love that phrase is because beauty is multifaceted, and one of the most obvious facets of that beauty is music. Getting to participate in music and this incredible band that we have. So I'm really excited to ask Katie Beth a few questions about her process and how she brings together her thinking about music and creativity and her faith. And so on that note, my first question is just, how has faith shaped your approach to creativity in general and music in particular?
Thank you. It's definitely shaped my appreciation and love for a wide variety of art. God uses such a wide variety of artists and musicians to teach us about Him, and I just have really grown in my appreciation and valuing art, even if it's art that I wouldn't necessarily gravitate towards. I really have grown to love and appreciate that. And it also has shaped my identity, because instead of identifying myself just as a musician and putting so much value into my creativity, I place my identity in my relationship with Christ, which really gives me freedom to be creative. And so, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And one of the things that I hear a lot from people is they say things like, well, I'm just not a creative person, or I'm not really a musical person, because there's this kind of maybe narrative out there that you're kind of born with it or not. But what would your encouragement be to someone who maybe wants to branch out and try some creative endeavors, but doesn't know where to start?
Well, I definitely believe that creativity and talent can be cultivated, and I actually have some adult students this year, and I teach them cello lessons, and I really admire their perseverance and their desire to learn, and I tell them that you really have to let go of trying to control the outcome of your work, and it's really about leaning into the process and being curious and developing a rhythm. And I would tell anyone who's either picking up a new artistic endeavor or picking up an old one that you want to just not wait until you feel creative to really create something, but rather just create a schedule or some time that you're setting aside where you pick up that paintbrush or old guitar or journal and you just create in order to create. Because I think creativity really comes when we're curious and we kind of let go, and God really uses that.
Yeah, that's actually a note for anyone who maybe is even just struggling with where they are in their faith right now. I love the way you put it. You said kind of letting go of the outcome and just leaning into the process of just asking questions and being curious. And then finally, last but not least, just maybe share your thoughts about music's role in worship and how music can maybe help shape our approach to what it means to worship God.
Well, I believe music connects souls. And I think it connects us to God, and it also connects us to each other. And it's a very communal act that we participate in, that we get to share in order to connect. And I think God also really delights in our worship, and He's given us this beautiful way to express that. And music is one of my favorite parts of worship.
All right, well, thank you so much, Katie Beth, for joining us and sharing a little bit about your process. And while you get back to your seat, I'll just say that we have an Arts Alliance at City Church where we highlight different artists and makers all across the city and all across the different mediums and media of art. So I hope you'll consider coming out to the next one we have in the fall. And thank you again so much for being here this morning.